Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is gisleniq. If this is your first time here, welcome back to Vlogmas day 12. I can't believe it is the last video of Vlogmas. I figured what better way to end out Vlogmas than to do a video of me reflecting on the year, reflecting on how 2023 went and what I'm looking forward to in 2024. So I have my makeup right here. If you guys want to get ready with me, hear how my year went, then go ahead and keep watching. All right, so as always, gonna start off with my Milk Hydro Grip Primer as per usual. So where do I even start? Man, 2023 has been a year for sure. It's honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest, 2023 has probably been the hardest year in my adult life. And granted, I feel like I haven't really been like an adult for that long. I mean, I don't know. I guess, I don't know when you are considered, when you start being considered an adult. Because I feel like I'm getting older, but I still don't feel like I'm this like super big grown up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I still feel super young. So it's weird. I'm just like, I'm getting older, but I don't really feel older. I don't know. I feel like there's other people who feel like that because I definitely have seen people say that before. But yeah, so I feel like 2023 was probably one of the hardest years for me in my life, honestly. Outside of the year that my dad passed away and my mom got open heart surgery, those were two really hard years for me. But I feel like 2023 was hard for me in a different way than it's ever been. I feel like I was really challenged this year, and I just feel like I just didn't really have a lot of emotional peace this year. Like, I feel like there was always something disturbing my peace, and I just don't understand why. 2023 has been a extremely difficult year for me personally. I feel like I had a lot of different situations happen in my life that really challenged me this year. And I think that I really had to sit in all of these uncomfortable situations that happened this year because I really needed to grow. And I feel like in a way, God has been trying to teach me the lessons that I learned this year, like my whole life, but I just wasn't, I just wasn't getting it. And this year he was like, well, I tried to show you in other ways, but you still weren't picking it up. So now I'm gonna have to like force you to learn these lessons. And I think one of the biggest lessons I learned in 2023 was the importance of setting boundaries. That is something that I've really struggled with pretty much my whole life. I don't set boundaries with people, and I think that part of the reason why I don't like to set boundaries with people is because to a certain extent, when you're setting a boundary, it's usually because somebody did something that you didn't like or whatever. It's not, obviously not in every circumstance that's the case, but for the most part, if you're setting a boundary, it's because somebody crossed your boundary and you have to tell them like, hey, I don't want you to do this. I don't appreciate this. And I personally do not like confrontation. I hate confrontation. It makes me feel extremely uncomfortable. Like, it makes me feel physically ill. And that's not me being dramatic. Like, I genuinely feel physically ill when I know I have to confront somebody about something that they did or whatever. And so for as long as I've been seeing my therapist now, which has about to be 3 years at this point, she's been telling me like, you need to start setting boundaries with people. And I was just like, like I listened to her, I'd be like, yeah, no, I get that. And I still wouldn't set boundaries. And so I feel like 2023 was the year where there were situations that happened. And so I had to really like sit there and think like, whoa, I kind of let this get to this position or this place where this person felt like they could do and say whatever they wanted. because I didn't set those boundaries that my therapist has been trying to tell me that I need to set. And so because of that, I had to kind of remove myself from having a relationship with certain people because it was just too much. And I feel like in the past, I've lost a lot of friendships and relationships with people because I wouldn't set boundaries with them. And I would just like, you know, things would happen that I just didn't appreciate or whatever. And I would just kind of like tally it in my mind. I'd be like, okay, like, I'm not gonna say anything, but this person did this. And then something else would happen. I'd be like, oh, I'm not gonna say anything, but this person did this. And they did this last time. So it was almost like I had these tallies for people. And rather than just being like, hey, I don't appreciate that you do this, please don't do this because it's like a boundary for me, I was just kind of like, it got to a certain point where I was just like, all right, well, I'm just not gonna be like friends with this person anymore. I don't want this person in my life because they constantly disrespect me. And to, you know, to their defense, at the end of the day, if they don't know that it's something that affects me or that I don't like, they're gonna continue doing it because nobody has ever told them like, hey, I don't appreciate this. You know what I mean? So I think that was another thing that I really had to get through this year, was just I felt very guilty for a lot of the relationships that I've kind of let go of, because I feel like I played a part in them because I didn't speak up, and I didn't, you know, in a sense I feel like I didn't fight for the relationship because I didn't just squash whatever the issue was and just kind of kept it pushing. So that was something that I really struggled with, was just kind of forgiving myself for, you know, not doing what I needed to do so that I could continue to have those relationships. And then also I was challenged in just certain things that I had to go through this year, and I feel like I had to go through them because it was a lesson that I needed to learn, that I can continue to try to delay setting boundaries with people, but people are going to continue to test me and try me. And unless you set that boundary, it's going to continue to happen. And so I feel like now going into 2024, I just feel a little bit more confident in myself to be able to set boundaries with people and know that it's like, you're not setting a boundary because you're mean or anything like that. You're just setting a boundary because you know how important it is to set boundaries in order for your relationships with people, whether it's romantic, whether it's friendship. It's just important to set boundaries because at the end of the day, like, we're all different people. So something that you might think is not appropriate is appropriate to somebody else. And so I just feel like that level of communication is super important. And that's another thing that I learned, is the importance of like clear communication, because two people can be communicating, but if you're not actually communicating effectively, then you're just talking to talk, but nobody's actually understanding what one or the other person has to say. Also, I need to actually do my makeup, like, hello. So yeah, so I had to learn the lesson of me not setting boundaries resulted in certain things happening, and then I had to deal with the consequences of those things happening. And at the end of the day, like, you know, I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, you can only blame yourself, but to a certain extent it is my fault because I didn't do what I had to do so that that situation didn't happen. And again, people are still gonna try you, whether you set the boundary or not. Like, people are still gonna try you, but at the end of the day, if you set the boundary with those people and they cross your boundaries, then you're like, all right, well, if I don't speak to you, you can't be mad because I already told you this is a boundary and you still decided to do it. But you can't, I feel like I can't really be mad at somebody for doing something that I don't appreciate if I didn't actually communicate to them that, hey, I don't appreciate this. So that's definitely something that I feel like I got a little bit of practice on it in 2023. I definitely feel like I practiced it with people who I feel like really, really safe with, that I felt like I could communicate to these people and they were going to be receptive to what it is that I had to say to them. So I feel like I did get practice in. I think 2024 is going to be the year of me really doing it with people who I feel a little bit more just not as safe to do it with. if that makes any sense at all. I feel like I'm talking, but I'm not really talking. Something else that I really struggled with in 2023 was just feeling very lost and feeling very like, you know, like what's my purpose in life? Like, what am I doing? This was the first full year that I was unemployed. I feel like I didn't really fully think about the consequences of me being unemployed. Like, I didn't think about the mental battles I was gonna face being unemployed. And that's definitely something that I really struggled with this year. I struggled with feeling lost and feeling like everybody was and is achieving their goals and working towards their goals, and I'm just here kind of like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, very confused, very, I don't know, like I just feel like I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Genuinely don't know. Like, I just genuinely feel very lost right now. I feel very lost. I feel like I'm also adding a lot of extra pressure on myself because I turned 28 this year, so next year I'm turning 29. So these are my last 2 years in my 20s, and I just feel like I've always envisioned that by the time I got to 30, I would have the career that I want, and I would have, you know, my personal life would be all in order, and you know what I mean? Like, I always said, like, I'm gonna have my first kid by 27. I want to be done having kids by 31, and you know, I want to be making 6 figures by the age of 26. And here I am, 28, and I'm making no figures because I don't even have a job. And honestly, scary as fuck, because I'm like, you know, I'm supposed to be setting myself up for retirement, but yet I don't even have a job. And I don't even know what kind of job I really, really want. Although, I mean, I feel like I do, but then again, I don't. You know what I mean? But anyways, so that's kind of like been 2023. It's just been a year of me being very lost, going through a lot of emotional turmoil. I also feel like I realized this year that I really kind of lost myself, and I don't know when it happened. I want to say that just, you know, throughout the last 3 years, there's been a lot of changes that have gone on in my life. I got engaged, I bought a house, then I got married, then I moved into my house, and I own a multi-family house with my husband. So we're not only like homeowners, but we're also landlords. So that was a learning curve as well. So I feel like I've had to take on a lot of roles and hats, and I don't feel like I'm really good at any of them, if I'm being completely honest. And so I feel like that leaves a lot of room for me to just kind of feel just like I'm not good at anything in particular. And I think that I really struggle with that because whenever I do something, I try to do it to the best of my ability. And so because I feel like I am not able to give 100% to all those roles, it brings on a mental challenge for me. What is this eyeshadow? All right, I'm gonna take off this eyeshadow because I don't know what this is. I also don't know why I try to do eyeshadow in these videos where I'm supposed to be talking, because I know that I'm super distracted. Like, I'm not talking well and I'm not doing my makeup well. But anyways, so yeah, so I just feel like I had a lot of mental battles this year, on top of other battles that I was facing this year as well. And so one thing that I really, 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 really hope for 2024 is some more mental peace, because I feel like I am extremely hard on myself. Actually, I know that I'm extremely hard on myself. And my therapist has also told me that I'm extremely hard on myself. Like, very critical of myself. And in turn, what happens is I'm super critical of myself. And so I think that like if I'm critical of myself, then it's gonna make me do something, right? And I'm gonna like really bang out whatever it is that I have to do. But instead, what happens for me is that I kind of put myself in this mental state where then I don't want to do anything because I just feel like shit because I've talked myself down so much because I haven't done whatever it is that I told myself that I wanted to do. And so then it just becomes this like really bad cycle where it's like you're talking down to yourself because you haven't done something because you want to do something. But then instead of actually doing what it is that you want to do, you just don't do anything because you've literally made yourself feel like shit. Does that make sense? So I need to really learn how to just be a little bit nicer to myself and just kind of, yeah, have a little bit more mental peace in 2024. I also hope that in 2024, I just have more clarity on things. I just want to really just feel like things are kind of starting to fall into place. I don't need everything to like, you know, be amazing and all of my goals to be reached because I know that's not realistic. But I do want to just feel like things are finally, the pieces are starting to move together and they're starting to fall into place. That's really what I want for 2024. All right, I just finished my makeup. I figured let's just talk without me doing my makeup because I feel like me talking and doing my makeup, I just get super distracted. So yeah, so I don't even know where I left off, but before I go into 2024, I also want to talk about like some positives that came out of 2023. I think for me, one of the biggest positives to come out of 2023 was me starting my YouTube channel. I get so emotional thinking about YouTube. As I've mentioned in previous videos, YouTube is something that I've loved for a very, very long time, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And I'm so glad and proud of myself for starting my YouTube channel in 2023, and even like me doing Vlogmas. The fact that I told myself like, okay, you're gonna do Vlogmas, and the fact that I actually stuck to it is, for me, it's such a big thing because I have tended to be the type of person to say that I'm gonna do something, and then when it doesn't go the way that I want it to go, I just kind of stop doing it. I'm just kind of like, whatever, like I'm not gonna do this anymore, and I come up with excuses about why I don't want to do it. And so with Vlogmas, it's been extremely challenging, but yet it feels so rewarding at the same time. And like I even told my therapist this week during our session, like this is what it must feel like to have a job that you love, and even though it gets stressful, you still show up and you do it because it's something you love. And obviously like YouTube isn't my job right now, but it's a hobby that I'm like really, really glad that I picked up because it genuinely brings me a lot of peace. I for years have like turned to YouTube and watching YouTube videos when there was like a lot of chaos going on in my life. And so, sorry, I don't really know why I'm crying. Yeah, so I just feel like doing YouTube is almost kind of like healing my my younger self and some of the trauma that I've experienced in my life. So I feel like these tears are like happy tears because it just shows like kind of like a full circle moment where it's just kind of like, okay, you said that you were gonna do something and you stuck to it, and we're literally at the end of the year filming the last video of the year, and like you're doing that, you know. You said that you were gonna start your YouTube channel, you started your YouTube channel, and you saw it through for all these months. And I think it's just like, I don't know, I feel like for me it's just like it just proves to myself that I am able to follow through with something. I just wasn't able to follow through with things before because it wasn't what I was actually passionate about. And this is something that I'm passionate about, and it's something that I really, really care about. So that was one of the positives of 2023. And then things that I'm looking forward to in 2024. So one, and I would say probably the main one, is just like mental peace. I want just more clarity on what I want for my life. Like, what are my goals? What is it that in my 30s I want to like be working towards? Yeah, like that's what I want. Like, I just want clarity on like what it is that I want out of my life, kind of relationships that I want, what things I'm willing to and not willing to tolerate. I just want to continue to like nurture the relationships with the people that I have. 2023, that was one of my main goals, was to like really nurture the relationships of the people that I had, and I feel like I did a good job at that, but I feel like I can definitely do better. So I'm gonna go ahead and end out today's video. I don't know if any of what I said makes any sense. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this to make it make sense, but I need to edit this video because I'm posting it today. It's already 12. So yeah, so I just want to say a massive thank you to anybody who's been watching my videos this year. If you've been watching Vlogmas videos, or if this is just the first video that you've watched of mine, I just want to say thank you. It really means so much to me. I'm just extremely appreciative, and this will most likely be the last video of 2023. I kind of want to give myself a little bit of a break and just kind of use the last few days of 2023 to just reflect on the year and really like hone in on what I want out of 2024. Something that I want to do is create a vision board. So I'm not sure if I'm going to create the vision board now and then like just film it and then post that in 2024, or if that be my first video of 2024 is like me creating my vision board and actually be doing it in 2024. I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely want to create a vision board for next year. So that's definitely something you guys can look forward to on my channel. And yeah, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you got to the end of this video, I love you so much. And yeah, so make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video. And I will catch you guys in 2024. Mwah! Bye!